All right, welcome back, third graders. Now we're on week 4, day 3. So this would be our Wednesday. Here we go. Let's get right to work because we got a lot to do today. Here we go. We will cook in the kettle. So we're doing week 4, day 3. Here we go. We will cook in the kettle. All right. There is a capital W, but the E should not be capitalized, so we need lowercase e. We. Will is okay. Cook is okay. In is not okay, it has a capital letter in it, capital I, so we gotta make that lowercase. The is okay. And kettle is misspelled, that needs 2 T's, not 2 D's. So K-E-T-T-L-E. We will cook in the kettle, and that needs a period at the end. It's not a question, right? All right. And so now there's a lot of words, so you got to kind of scrunch up your cursive. Here we go. We will cook in the kettle. Period. Alrighty. Here we go. Math. Zippity doo dah, zippity. All right, here we go. 625 plus 297. Go up. Go up. And 9. 922. 710. Subtraction. 8. 2. 328. Number 4. 8. Borrow. 6. 168. There we go. On to the double digit multiplication. I'm moving kind of fast because the science is going to take a while. So, keep up. Remember, you can always pause or rewind, whatever you want to do. All right. 0 times 4 is 0. 2 times 4 is 8. 80. Okay, and that would be, we froze. All right, 80. Okay, 9 times 8 is 72. Carry the 7th. 8 times 3 is 24. Plus 7, that would be 31. All right, new school. Well, 8 times 30 is 240. 9 times 8 is 72. Add those together, and you get 312, just like you did up top. Good job. All right, 2 times 6, 12. Carry the 1. 6 times 4 is 24. Plus 1 is 25. 252. 6 times 40 is 240. 2 times 6 is 12. 252. 252. Bada boom, bada bang. 7 times 4 is 28. Carry the 2. 1 times 4 is 4. Plus 2 is 6. 68. 4 times 10 is 40. 7 times 4 is 28. 8. 68. And 9 times 40 is 360. All right, 36 divided by 6. We get 6. 21 divided by 7 is 3. 16 divided by 4 is 4. 18 divided by 9 is 2. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. 2 times 9 is 18. 4 times 4 is 16. 7 times 3 is 21. And 6 times 6 is 36. All right. 3 ninths equals how many ninths? It's equivalent to what fraction would have the same. So think about it. 2 pies. Both of them are cut into 9 pieces. If you have 1 pie and you want to eat 3 of those 9 pieces, well, how many would you have to eat on this side? 3, right? So it'd be the same thing. 3 ninths equals 3 ninths. That was an easy one. Might have been tricky because you're like, well, we haven't had one like that before. But yeah, 3 ninths is the same as 3 ninths, okay? All right, 1/4 equals 2 over what? Well, if you get from 1 to 2, we have to multiply by 2, right? 1 times 2 is 2. And if we do it at the top, we have to do it at the bottom. 4 times 2 is 8. So 2/8 is equivalent to 1/4. All right, moving on. On to the science. Tomorrow's bell work will be Week 4, day 4, most people are nice. All right. Here we go. Our science for today, it is a week 4, day 1. Okay? All right, so let's go over the vocabulary real quick. So the vocabulary reads, it's over here. All right. Nutrients. Nutrients are substances found in soil that help a living thing stay healthy. All right. Okay. Water that is absorbed by plants. Well, let's read this first. Actually, let's read the questions first so we know what to look for in the reading. All right. So for part A, you're going to use this diagram here. And I'll read the directions. This diagram shows a part of a stem. Use blue. Remember, you can always write on these papers. Use blue to color where the water and nutrients travel. So it's a part of the plant where nutrients would travel. Now remember, the roots suck up nutrients and everything from the soil. So where does it have to travel through to get to the leaves, right? Use green to color the part of the stem that protects the plant, okay? So think about like a knight wearing armor. What where's that armor at on the knight to protect the knight, right? It's on the outside. Okay. Part B says use words from the paragraph above to complete each sentence. Now I wrote these words up here, I scrambled them up. These are the words you're gonna use. If you want to pause it and write them down yourself, that's fine. I thought I'd make it a little easier on you because sometimes these can be a little difficult. But anyways, these are the 4 words you're going to use to fill in the blanks, but they are scrambled up. They don't necessarily go in order. So, all right. So, use words from the paragraph above to complete each sentence. Water and blank move from the roots to the leaves through the plant's blank. Number 2. The outside of the stem, blank the stem, while long blank inside the stem move water upward. And then part C says, a plant's nutrients come from the soil. How do you get nutrients? Name 2 things that you get nutrients from. So remember, only way to get nutrients in us is we have to eat something, right? So you can also drink some things. I'll give you a freebie like drinking a V8, that little vegetable drink. You can get nutrients that way, right? But we'll start with these like I eat, okay? So think about it. Or maybe I drink something. You can get nutrients also from drinking. So I eat, or I drink, whatever you want to use. But name 2 things that you would eat to get a nutrient inside of your body, okay? All right, so I'm going to do the reading and you follow along and maybe you can answer some of these or come up with some of the answers to these questions. But feel free to highlight if you want while we read. All right, water that is absorbed by a plant's roots must get to all cells in the plant. The plant's stem helps with this job. A plant stem has 2 parts. The outside of the stem is made from tough fibers that protect it. The inside of the stem is made of long tubes. These tubes move the water and nutrients upward from the roots. All right, so you're going to answer the questions on this side. All right, on the flip side, flip it over, there's a back side. The vocabulary reads pores, which are tiny holes in leaves that can open and close. Okay, just like we have pores in our skins that allow sweat to leave our body, right? Cool us down, because that's the purpose of sweat, is to cool us down. But we have pores in our body, believe it or not, and those pores in our skin let sweat leave our body and sits on our skins and cools us down. Sometimes the pores get plugged though, and then we get what? We get zits, right? So anyways, plants have pores also. Let's read what their pores do. They open and close. Okay, so I'm going to do the reading. You look for these questions. You're going to do true or false. A plant only needs roots to move water. The pores are located in a plant's leaves. True or false? The main purpose of pores is to let in light. True or false? And then you got a part B. A leaf's pores do not stay open all the time. Why do you think that is? So that's kind of you're going to have to do some deeper thinking and write down a complete sentence with capitalization, proper ending, and more than just one word. So why do a leaf's pores do not stay open all the time? Why do you think that is? So why do you think the pores close sometimes and open and close, open and close? All right, here we go. I'm going to do the reading, and then you'll be able to answer the questions that follow. All right. Water reaches the leaves of a plant by moving up the plant's stem. But the journey doesn't end there. Water returns to the air through tiny holes in the leaves called pores. The pores open and close, letting water escape. Now there are empty spaces in the leaves. Water moves up the stem to fill those spaces. If the pores do not open and let the water out, water would not move through the plant. All right, and that says an open pore, and that says a closed pore. All right, so with that information, go ahead and answer the questions and have fun with it. If you have trouble, ask your parents to help you out, okay? All right, and that was a week 4, day 2 paper. Whoa, whoops. So anyways, there's a day 1 and day 2. We'll put this all on that should actually be, sorry. Well, let's see here. This is Wednesday, so it's actually week 4. These are both day 3 papers. Week 4, day 3s. When I originally made this, I was going to do science a little different. So both these science sheets are week 4, day 3s. Okay, so there's a front and back. All right, so change that to that. Okay, here we go. On to cursive and reading. All right, let's go ahead and get cursive sheet out. And here we go. Oh, we got to get our little tropical scene on, don't we? There we go. Put us in the mood for reading. All right, Jack Sparrow. So the story was getting pretty interesting last time. They went over a big hill and they were finding all these dead pirate skeletons, and then they found a hidden city down in a valley, and it was littered with skeleton bones and everything. So, let's see what's going on here. Chapter 8. In the valley below, Jean was rubbing his head. Otherwise, he didn't look so badly hurt. "Oh, I'm all right," he called out. Then he turned and saw where he was. A lonely wind blew, whistling and moaning through the ancient structures. It raised an eerie dust cloud over the empty streets, scattering bones as it went. "This place is accursed," Fitzwilliam said grimly. "We should not carry on here." "No, wait, Jack," Arabella cried. "A city neat and well designed like the Romans built. A pirate paradise," she said excitedly. "And look," she pointed at what looked like a variation of an Aztec pyramid in the dead center of the city. Then, noticing a coin by her feet, she bent to pick it up. An S and a crude hieroglyph of an eye were carved on its face. "This is the mark of Captain Stone-Eyed Sam. This is his island, Jack. This is the pirate kingdom we are looking for." Jack took in the scene, and he smiled. "You were looking for this place?" Jean asked from below. "We are looking for the sword of Cortez," Jack explained. Jean and Tuman each muttered something in his own language. Constance hissed at nothing in particular. "But how is this possible?" Fitzwilliam asked. "The island we just happened to land on after the storm just happens to be the one we were looking for." Well, that's just lucky for you, Jack said with a smile, and began clambering down the wall. Tumen followed. It's not luck. We're here because we were looking for it, Aunt Arabella said. The sword, or the scabbard, clearly drew us to this place. Stuff and nonsense, Fitzwilliam retorted, but he hurried down after them anyway. Jack tried to keep his and everyone else's spirits up as they explored the city, but it was difficult. Even the promise of the sword of Cortez wasn't enough to erase the horror of the things they were seeing. Since they had no idea where the sword might be, they had to look everywhere. They saw the skeleton of a washerwoman, still bent over a tub, and the clothes inside long, dry, and eaten away. What was once a tavern, chillingly similar to the Faithful Bride, was populated with skeletons, mugs of dust and bony hands. Humans weren't the only skeletons in the city either. There were pens of skeleton cattle, a skeleton dog right on the heels of a skeleton cat, rows of delicate skeleton bird bones on the edge of houses, and behind it all the winged drone blowing grit into Jack and the crew's eyes and teeth. What could possibly have happened here, Fitzwilliam wondered. Maybe a plague, maybe a fire. It was a curse, Tumen muttered. The sword of Cortez, Jack said. As soon as Stone-Eyed Sam lost the scabbard, his kingdom went to ruin. The loss of a scabbard will cause kingdoms to scab over, Arabella muttered to herself, repeating the same line she'd heard at the inn. This is just where the commoners lived, Jack said. There's nothing royal about all this. He pointed into a shattered dining room, where 4 grinning skeletons sat around a collapsed table, still waiting for their dinner. Let's get to that pyramid for a better view. Jack was relieved to find that the stepped sides of the pyramid made for very easy climbing. He scurried to the top like a squirrel and began to scan the city for something more royal. But then he was distracted by something else. Jack's eyes popped when he looked out over the top of the jungle. The storm on the horizon was now pitch black, like a vat of boiling tar in the sky, and it was heading directly for them. Spouts rose just offshore, whipping into the sky. It was only a matter of time before the storm would make land fall. Jack stumbled quickly back down the pyramid, almost falling as he went. Storm, coming, it's huge, he panted, barely able to breathe. Like the one that nearly sank us all, Fitzwilliam asked. Huger, Jack said, waving his arms excitedly. Have to take cover. Winds. Look, Arabella shouted, pointing up of the boulevards. It led straight to a huge ruined pyramid-shaped palace that was previously hidden from their view of the overgrown jungle that surrounded them. Its stone walls, once grand, were crumbling and strained. The vines that crawled up the walls were twisting in the wind like venomous snakes. Well, looks like the very place one might find a cursed sword, Jack shouted back, holding his bandana against his head to keep it from blowing off. Arabella nodded. And a good place to take cover. Then a bolt of lightning shattered a stand of trees directly behind Jack. To the palace, he commanded. Chapter 9 will be tomorrow. All right, good work. For tomorrow, you need your reading papers again. We're going to do reading fluency. All right. And then your bell work and your cursive sheet. Good work.